one of my favorite topics to talk about because I told you so, and you ain't wanna believe
You-
me. You just knew Netflix was gonna walk away
I
with
was
this.
rooting for Netflix.
Yeah. So Warner Brothers Discovery shareholders just approved Paramount's $110 billion merger offer after Netflix backed out of the deal. Now, when you seen this, what was your thoughts? I mean, because you were team Netflix from the jump.
I was team Netflix from the jump. I'm still skeptical. Like I
Yeah, it's
understand
not a
that.
done deal at
Yeah,
all.
I
It's not.
understand that they're moving forward with the deal. But I'm still skeptical. I'm still skeptical of the overall concept of Skydance having control over all of this IP.
Yeah.
And it's so precious. $110 billion. I mean, obviously, they're gonna do it. They have to do to get this money, but I still think it would have been better in the hands of Netflix.
See, the reason, see, but this is where I don't understand why, like knowing you and knowing how you're like anti monopolistic, why wouldn't you want Skydance, who's a startup, right? They're a startup in
Uh,
this space. Obviously, they got billions of dollars
I was gonna
behind them,
say, yeah.
but they are a startup. They still can fail.
Hmm.
Why wouldn't you want them to come in and create a fourth big player? Because you got Disney, you got
Yeah.
um, Amazon,
Hmm.
you got
What you mean, like Amazon Prime?
Amazon Prime in their video.
Hmm.
So you got Disney, you got Amazon Prime, you got
I think it's called Turner.
what is that called? Obviously Netflix, and then you'll have Paramount Skydance. So like, why wouldn't you want it to be another competitor that keeps prices low, that keeps it diverse for consumers? I would have thought you would want this, and you don't want because if Netflix get this, it's going to be a monopoly.
I trust Netflix in a way that I do not trust Skydance. What I mean is I don't trust the Ellisons. The Ellisons are huge Trumpers, and so they you already know they have an agenda that's going to try to pander to certain narratives. And so yes, they have all that IP. They get to continue to make money off of this IP that we love, that we cherish. I think Sinners is like Warner Brothers. Um, but then you get to also use all of that money that you're getting from all of those films, right?
Yeah.
To make other films that are definitely going to pander to certain narratives that are going to impact people negatively. What I liked about Netflix is the type of brand that is like, we're gonna generally, try to facilitate to everybody. Yes, we're gonna facilitate to the blacks, but guess what? We got the shows that involve the gay community. We got the shows that involve the trans community. We got the shows that involve the
Yeah.
hillbilly community. So you know what I'm saying? They're not like, oh, we all need to be the Aryan race. They're like, no, we got everything that caters to everybody, and that's what I like about Netflix.
I mean that's fair. I think that is a fair point. I don't see the Ellisons doing any type of
I
trans movie or
no.
involving any type of LBGT whatever, right? But I do think they're definitely going to work with the black community. They've been
Well, yeah.
working with Issa Rae, they own BET and all of that now, so they're definitely going to be in that ballpark. Um, I just I don't think they're Trumpers. I think they're Republican, and whoever is in there is they're going to be that person. They're going to cater to that
They're
person.
gonna cater to the
Yes,
administration.
I'm telling y'all, the minute the midterms are over, everybody's going to flip on Trump because he's not as powerful no more.
Mm.
They're going to start catering to everybody. I'm telling you, give it 18 months, DEI, all of that is going to come back because Trump is not going to be in there anymore. And the minute they see who's going to be, oh, it's going to be JD
Like if
Vance.
if the tides are gonna
The
turn.
tides are going to turn. And the minute the Democrats get back in power of the House
Mm.
or the Senate
Mhm.
or the presidency, all of this stuff is going to turn. So everybody is quote unquote pro Trump right now other than Ben and Jerry ice cream. They've been going, they've been cousin them and Costco. They've been going at Trump. But a
Yo.
lot of these big companies, Apple, Google, all of them been kissing up to him
Yeah.
because of that.
Yeah.
So I've kind of took that and set that to the side. Now I do think Netflix is more open and more diverse to different narratives that from their own right, I believe should be told. I don't think it should be forced on everyone, but I do think they should have their own narrative. They should have their own shows. They should have their own stuff that they can go,
Yeah.
and it should be a diverse amount. And this is why I'm saying Netflix shouldn't get it, because Netflix is already showing and proving that they are successful without it. And from a shareholder perspective, a lot of the shareholders agree with it. When Netflix offered to buy this, their stock went down 12%. Investors wasn't feeling it because they was going to have to borrow a lot of money. And Netflix have always been builders. They have never been buyers. They don't.
Oh, I can see that point.
That's what I'm saying. So this is actually anti-Netflix whole business model and why Netflix stand. Like, if this was Netflix strategy, there would never be a Netflix. So this is why I felt it wasn't going to be good for Netflix to do this, solely because it was going against their business model, their roots, and why they became the $300-400 billion behemoth. Skydance, if they don't do this, they're going out of business. Like, it's a wrap. So they were going to buy hook or crook, get this asset, and I knew it was going to eventually go through because they got the House, the Senate, they got all these people, and they're, like I said, they're big Trumpers, they're big Republicans. So the Republicans got the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
They're going to get this asset, and I don't think Netflix really wanted it. I think Netflix did exactly what they wanted. They finessed them out of $3-4 billion, and they made them pay $20-30 billion more. So Netflix did exactly what they were supposed to do. They finessed them. Netflix, the one who won.
Well, here's the thing. Netflix is also very popular for having the oldies but the goodies. And that's what I wanted to see when I looked at that.
It's a lot of old good content.
The oldies but the goodies. So, but I also understand, like, that would have made them larger than life. I personally am, like, again, because I have a certain amount of trust in Netflix.
Yeah.
Now, probably we shouldn't trust any of these companies.
Yeah,
right?
I see what you're saying, though. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, they flip flop that. Netflix used to be $7.
Right. Now they 30.
Imagine they have all of this IP.
And that was the monopolistic problem. Yeah. Is like once they get it,
then they can charge.
They
whatever.
have pricing power. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so if this, at the end of the day, if this becomes better for the consumer, then sure. I just don't know what this will be in the hands of the Ellisons. Like, imagine we have.
They own TikTok now.
That's what I'm saying.
They own almost everything.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, the things that we know and that we love are starting to change. And I don't know what that looks like in their hands. That's what I'm saying. But guess what? We're going to find out.
Yeah. I mean, they still got to get, they still have to get approval from the EU. And they still have to get approval from, the DOJ and all these people, but they're going to get it. They, like I said, they're big donors, they're big conservatives. That's who control everything.
Well, yeah, because they still have to be checked by global regulators.
Yeah. The EU. I think they're going to get through that. I think they're going to get through it because there's no anti-competitiveness of this. From a regulator standpoint, you want it to be more big players. That way, you don't have pricing power as much, because if you go up too much Netflix, we're going to go over to Paramount, Skydance, I'm going to go over to Amazon, I'm going to go to Apple TV, I'm going to go to, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what you really want as if you're the FTC or one of these big companies.
But all you know what they're going to do? They're just going to collude together. That's all the big companies.
Well, then that's when you can hold all of them to accountable.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
That's true, too. And
they're definitely going to do that.
I was going to say, everybody's going to be $30.
But thank you guys for watching. In order to continue to support independent journalism, I need you to subscribe down to the page below. And if you want the full podcast and more exclusive content, I need you to subscribe to the Patreon. Link is in the description.